What's going on, everybody? Hi, I'm Brett. Nice to meet y'all. Well, as you all are probably here to do, you're all here about all these random projects you can do for Raspberry Pis with robots. I've seen nice emulations machines today. I've seen really good stuff using Makey. I've seen it all. But what if you said to yourself, what can it do to make my life easier? Sure, robots could make your life easier in a form or another, but how can you extend its use outside, inside your home and outside when you go to work, when you're commuting to work, and all the little things in between? That's where the home automation aspect sets in here. Now I'm just going to go on the side here and I'll tell you a little more about me. I'm actually from Charleston, West Virginia. I took a nice 6-hour drive to come here. Thanks, Frank. I love it here. It's fantastic in this courthouse. I'm actually working on a computer science degree at West Virginia State University. It's in Institute, West Virginia. I've been using the Raspberry Pi ever since it first came out in 2012. The first Raspberry Pi, everybody's first project was probably a Cody box, and that was mine. It was one of the most glorious RASP-BMC boxes you might ever see. But now, I'd like to tell you that my favorite board is the Raspberry Pi 3. It's fast, and I'm a little addicted to them because Amazon, I bought like 10 for these purposes that you're about to see here, folks. It's really good. Now, I've been a programmer forever. I'm working to be a software engineer right now. I mainly do in Python. I do Python for most of these products that I'll be showing you today. But in Arduino coding, I also do things such as Objective-C families, so I work with Arduinos. Many different languages that I work with are really nice. Now, I want you to think to yourself for a second. Just think for a second. What if your home could do all this? What if it could send a notification to someone's home? You know, any parents out there? Anybody a parent? Parents, good. You're worried about your child's safety when they come back from school? If they're about that age? What if I told you that it would send a notification to you as soon as your child gets home so that you know he or she is safe? That would be helpful to keep your peace of mind just a little more at bay. You can even do the same thing for your dog if you're a parent to a fur baby. As my fiance would like to say, a fur baby. It's always good. Now, what if also your home could also play your media on an entertainment system and your light and set the mood? You know, you're thinking about it, you want to have some friends over, you want to have a few Cokes and a few Sprites and just watch a couple of movies on Netflix. I have nothing against that. I'm still in college, I still like that. It's nice and calm and easy. But every time I have friends over, I always have a button I want to push so that my lights will come on down and then Netflix would shoot on my Chromecast. And we always watch some good Netflix, or YouTube, because we like seeing some funny fail videos every once in a while. Those are always fun. What if your home could be using a create your own security system? This is where flexibility really comes in. Creating your own security system to make it so that you don't have to pay upwards of like $500 or $1,000 to be able to make your own. It's great to have that peace of mind, but sometimes they don't work together, and sometimes you can't see it on your phone. You can't see what's going on your phone if somebody opens a door and you don't know about it and whatnot. What if you made it so that you'd be able to see all this in one easy-to-use location, just on an app on your phone? Now, what if your home could help you have a beautiful garden? For all of you that like to make crops like corn, or any sort of fruits like cantaloupes, there's even ways that you can automatically water your lawn or water your gardening so that you don't have to do it yourself, so that it just keeps nice and fresh water there. But that only feeds water when it's not raining. Conserves water too. Now, what if you could track your house from anywhere? This sounds weird because you think your house is moving. But what I mean is that this peace of mind that you can see what's peer inside using cameras and see what's going on in your house from anywhere in the world. You could be sitting here and your house is about 6 hours away like mine is. And I could be looking at my sister trying to steal from my cookie jar. something like that. Now, what if your home can find your keys or your wallet through your voice assistant? This is one of those cool things that's like, everybody, I know everybody's either lost their keys, their purse, or their wallet at least once in their life. But I will tell you one thing. It can be no more. You can even tell your voice assistant, Alexa or Google Home, find my keys. And then it would turn on one of your lights to tell you it's in that room. What if I told you that would be a really cool thing to do? Would you be instantly knowing it's in my bedroom or it's in my living room according to that light that's shown? Now, what if you had a button to change the mood? You know, you want to have a nice dinner date with your partner. You want to have a nice candlelit dinner, and you want to be able to focus on the more finer things in life. Just one button can change all your lights now to a low purple setting and play some smooth jazz, and you'd be having a good time. It would give you just a nice calming peace of mind. Now, what if I told you that, what if your home could open your garage door as soon as it sees your license plate, not your car, but your license plate? It would instantly scan your license plate so that if you trade cars often, because my brother, he has a new car every week because he likes doing these vehicle tradings. So I built him something so that he would so whatever his license plate is, it would open the garage door instantly like that through a camera that I put outside the garage, so that once he backs up, it would instantly know and it would open it up for him, no matter what car it is. He's even did it on a motorcycle for whatever reason, and it worked just fine. Now, what if it tracks your fitness? Now, everybody's probably thought, a Fitbit's for you. And they are in most cases. For me, I kind of need to lose a few pounds because I'm getting married in August. So I'd like to actually lose a few pounds for the wedding, and I kind of thought a Fitbit would help, and it has. It has. I lost 20 pounds already. But what if you could track your fitness to a T? Track your fitness so that it would help you in the long run. Like, for example, set an automation so that every time you hit your 10,000 steps on your Fitbit, it'll roll out a piece of fun-sized candy. Believe it or not, I actually built that. And it's full of fun-sized Snickers. Now, what if your home can assist feeding your pets? Everybody's probably either thought about having a pet or have a pet. A dog, cat, fish. Sometimes you forget to feed it. I know I have on accident a time or two. Just to be completely honest with y'all. But one thing for sure, it can help you with that. So that if it sees that you're home, it would let you know that you might want to feed your dog at the dog, cat, or fish, or monkey. Because I actually know somebody with a pet monkey. It'd be able to tell you that you need to feed your pet if you are considered home. If nobody's home at all, and if you have multiple people, it'll send a notification to all the people that are considered home so that you would know that they have the notification to do it. But if nobody's home, it'll automatically feed them the right amount of food if you're like on vacation or something. That is the basic premise. There's millions of ways you can upgrade your home like this. This is just only a few things I came up with. Enter, of course, that's the back button. I was on the back. Now, this is Enter Home Assistant. A beautiful shirt, in fact, to show off the awesome open source project that has been going on for about 1.5 years now. Open source, it runs on Python 3. It's perfect for a Raspberry Pi 3, but it can be used on a Raspberry Pi 0 through Wi-Fi, and you can just hide it anywhere. And so that you can scare your guests into thinking that your house actually does have a brain. Now, the best part is, this is mobile-friendly and web-based, so that you can be anywhere in the world and you can check up on it at any given moment in time. It controls every single device that you can think of: lights, power. You can think of sensors. It can even it can even tell you to turn on your light through Twitter if you wanted to. It's that flexible. And the best part is, everybody's probably concerned with their privacy. I know I would be. None of your data goes into anybody else's computer or the cloud, as it would be dubbed. And all of it is secure and it's encrypted. Making sure that you have the most secure policy in your house so that you would know that nobody's snooping on your traffic and only you and the people you allow are on your program. Now, Okay, what can Home Assistant support? There's many things that Home Assistant can support. I'm only going to show you a few things because there's right now currently about 760 different things that Home Assistant can support. Things you make your own or things you can just buy in the store. Lighting. As you probably, some of you might know that I actually have an exhibitor table right downstairs. I show you most of this lighting because I actually have the Q lighting and the LifeX lighting and the Eli lighting. But did you know it can also support things like flux LEDs, like LED bulbs that are like about $15 for all of you that want to get into smart home automation, but they want to actually have a good starting point where it's inexpensive. It's really good for sensitivity. Now, there, you see for all of you that know what that attachment is, that is a Sense Hat. It supports the light matrix that's on a Sense Hat and all its sensors, so you can actually use it to control stuff through the Sense Hat. And also a little side note, all these are LEDs. For any of you that are trying to save energy and electricity bills, LEDs are proven to actually save you more electricity in the long run because it uses way less power. So any of you that are thinking about switching over to LEDs, it's a little more expensive up front, but I promise it will actually help you decrease your energy bill by up to around 42%. Now, I will go into power. There's 3 different kinds of power that I consider in here. There's IR power, such as remotes that go into the TVs, and it goes into remote-controlled AC units and whatnot. Power, like the plugs that you see, that are Wi-Fi based or RF, like I showed downstairs. Wemo, TP-Link, and Ranchio, for any of you that are gardeners, or any of you that like to actually feed like gardens. Ranchio is to help you water your garden and to help you for irrigation. Now, the one at the bottom, I know some of you are probably looking at like, why is there a logo of an RJ45 jack? It can actually do something for you if you're a computer gamer or just a computer nerd, like I am. It would actually do wake on LAN features so that it would not necessarily turn off your computer, but you can turn it on through the LAN port of your computer. Now, media players. Everybody likes media. Netflix is on the rise. YouTube is completely awesome. But you need to find a place to show it. I mean, you can show it on your tiny phone. Nothing wrong with that. But there's also different things that you can also do. Media players such as Plex. Plex is perfect because you can also use it on a Raspberry Pi as a server. So you can download all your DVDs into there and watch them wherever you are in the world. And they have a built-in custom component for that. Amazon Fire TVs, Apple TVs, you have Google Chromecast, the Chromecast audio series, Roku's. They're all supported through here, and you can control them by playing and pausing through this application and doing stuff like sensing if it's being played right now, then dim down your lights so that the TV is the only thing you can focus on, which is nice, low, and slow. It can also do media players such as Spotify and Pandora. So if you want to automate where a radio is going to, like if you want to have a Spotify playlist play in the patio, you would be able to do that. All right, now voice assistants. Currently, there's only 2, and both of them you can make out of a Raspberry Pi. The Google Home you can make out of a Raspberry Pi, and Amazon Echo. My personal, flavor of poison of my choice is the Amazon Echo. They're all relatively inexpensive, and they're really good to make if you really want to make one out of a Raspberry Pi. And they'll work with all your home automation. Now, notifications. Maybe sometimes you want to be notified if something happens, like somebody opens the door when you're not home, or you just want to know that your crock pot's done. There are many different ways you can do notifications, such as HTML5. You can do Discord if you're into that. Slack also works really well. You can do push bullet, which is my favorite thing, to go instant notifications. I can do Twilio, which will send me an SMS text message, or even call me and tell me something's going on, automatically like that. And then Messenger, for all of you that are social nuts like I am, it's always good to have a wide range of options for notifications. You can even send to other people through any of these, so that if you want to know that tell your family that 911 hasn't been called and there's an emergency, your family will be in the know right then and there. Cameras. You need to look inside your house sometime. Sometimes you might find things that you never know. Really. So there's different kinds of cameras in here. There's even the Momentum brand, which is my personal favorite, or any IP camera that you can think of, even the cheap Chinese knockoff ones. Those work. Those will work, and you'll get an instant feed, a video feed inside of your app so that you can see it live at all times. And for all of you that like to recycle or even upcycle old phones like Android phones, there's even a way you can turn an old Android phone into a IP security camera, so that you wouldn't have to pay for anything, and it would be reused as an IP camera. This is daunting because there's a lot of them. These are sensors, but I've grouped them into two different things. There's physical, such as 8, which 8 is basically a bed sheet that you put over so you can sense your sleeping habits. Fitbit, you can do Nest, you can even sense where your Uber driver is or your Lyft driver, so that you can prep ahead of time. You can do even hubs that exist in the market today, Samsung Smart Thing, Z-Wave, Zigbee, Vera, Wink. All these are also supported in here, but now we have virtual ones. Now Domino's is a good sensor because I can track where my pizza order is and order pizza from anywhere. It's a great service, and they also have the NOAA, so if you ever, the NOAA actually has a perfect sensor for this if you want to know the Aurora Borealis. NASA has one, and it's only for the International Space Station, so to be able to say, hey, if the International Space Station is right above me, give me a notification and tell me, because I'd really love to know. You can even do stuff like track your shipments. You can go onto the computer page, you can check if there's crimes going on in your area, and you'll be instantly notified if there is. There's more than meets the eye here, and there's even weather, you can track the sun, so you can turn on lights outside if it goes past sunset. Its uses are far beyond. Now, there's even do-it-yourself ones with the Raspberry Pi. You can even do it yourself, like I've showed downstairs, that you can actually use existing products or make stuff out of Raspberry Pis or little chips. One specifically is MQTT, which is a message queue telemetry teleportation. Basically what that means is that you can actually message different protocols. You can message things so that technology can talk to each other. Like for example, I can change the theme of what my light strip looks like downstairs, or I can turn it on and off. I can open up my blinds using MQTT. It's one of those maker kind of things. It's make your own. OwnCloud. This is a little side project that I've been doing. It's one of the things where you can turn your Raspberry Pi into a personal cloud, so everything is secure. So that you can have all your data on a hard drive in the cloud, you can access it from anywhere you want to. And then the top one here is called Octopi, or Octoprint. It's basically a 3D printer controller for a Raspberry Pi, so you can access all your prints online. You can even connect a webcam to it, so you can watch your prints in real time if you're out and about. And you can even see what's the approximate time if the print will be done. All through the Octopi system. But there's many more different ways you can do it yourself. Now, as my last part of this, before I go into the Q&As, I'll show you some of the projects I've been doing with these do-it-yourself projects. The one on the left is using the Adafruit NeoPixel strip and the NeoPixel circles, so I'll be able to automate them as lights. I like to make little crafts like you find on YouTube. I made the NeoPixel circle inside of a mason jar, so that it would look like fireflies are flying in there. It's a really cool thing I did for my cousins. The Project Lighthouse. One of these chips called a Node MCU chip. It's a $5 Wi-Fi chip. $5 Wi-Fi chip. And we add onto it it can read temperature, humidity, light, motion, and a controllable LED. And for $15, In total, for all the parts, it's perfect. The Raspberry Pi Zero W. Now, the one thing I do with this is that sometimes let me give you a scenario. My dryer and my clothes washer are downstairs, and I barely can hear them because their alarms aren't loud enough. So I set an automation and made it from a Raspberry Pi Zero so that if vibration stops, then it would send a notification saying, hey, your clothes are done. Or you need to change your clothes over. Or the dishes are done, you might want to clean the kitchen. Stuff like that. It's just an interesting little fun project I decided to do now. The controllable and censored, I mentioned before that I have an automatic pet feeder. That every time that nobody's home, it feeds my dogs. And this is exactly what it is. It'll automatically feed them the right amount of food, just so that they would have the right amount of food, so that nobody overfeeds them, underfeeds them, or they just don't get fed at all. The blinds controller. I have another model downstairs, and basically what it does is this little chip controls a servo so that you're able to open and close blinds. I have it so that it saves energy for me, so that every time the sun's up, it'll open my blinds up, and then when the sun goes down, it'll close my blinds, and it'll turn on a lamp on the inside. So it looks like I'm home. Shh, secret. Now, smart home enabled entertainment system. There's fantastic guys downstairs working on the RetroPie system, and I'll tell you, RetroPie's great. I even took it one step further and added the Alexa service to my RetroPie service with coding installed. So now I have basically, I have Cody, RetroPie, and Alexa, so I can order Domino's while I'm playing Super Mario Brothers. It's the most beautiful thing in the world, I tell you, it really is. And finally, the best thing that I honestly think is awesome, the smart scale with its syncability. See, if any of you have ever known anything about the Fitbit line, there's a Wi-Fi scale out right now. It's called Fitbit Aria. It's basically a Wi-Fi connected scale that uses multiple users, so you can stand on it. It would tell you, wait for me. It would tell me one person at a time, please. But that's the side point. It would tell me that, and then it would send my weight over to Fitbit and record it so that I'd be able to start taking track of what I'm doing. I'm not paying no 120 bucks for a scale, honestly. So I decided to make my own with a Raspberry Pi 3, a Wii Fit board, and just a little bit of ingenuity. I added IFT so that it would be able to control and send that weight to Fitbit so that I'd be able to record it. And then every time I step on the Wii Fit scale, it actually does register weight. So it accurately determines my weight through an algorithm in the Python coding, then sends that weight over to Fitbit, and then it's recorded. And that's about 30 bucks to make. So I saved myself about $90. Just to make do-it-yourself stuff is awesome. And that's the whole thing about home automation. Now, I know I didn't touch on a few things. There are way more things you can even do with home automation. You can even do things like what time will my crock pot be ready with my chicken pot pie? You can do stuff like that. There's way more to it with over 750 different components. Anything is truly possible with this setup. And startup's not that hard. Startup's not that expensive either. All you need is a Raspberry Pi. All right, well, thanks guys.